What's up, guys? Vince right here. I'm pretty much, there's kind of like two reasons to this video, or maybe a third. Right now I don't feel like it of the third reason, but basically the first is advertising my Instagram, which is here, DJ Vinzel Media. Been having this for a long time, and also like to share my moments when going to a b-boy event I haven't been to a b-boy event for 2 years at this point. As you can see, there's some clips, there's some travels here and there, like me going to Greece or Italy. I just ate, by the way, some burpee, but I don't give a damn. Also some montages of some sorts. I'm really trying to. Oh yeah, there it is. So this was basically the first time going to this specific event in that same club. And now I'm here again, and this is, a second time, you know. And I'm sharing this because, it was amazing time at the Spin, Control Jam. Um, One thing that hurts about this event that I have to talk about is like the lack of support for, just look, I took a picture. There was a lot of people that I at and all that. Like, I add some of my favorite, not my favorites. I mean, some of them are favorites, some of them are not, Some of the big ones that I actually have just single pictures of, you might see, but I really kind of question, like, why is it even the smaller b-boys and b-girls that I took pictures with don't give a crap about this post? They just see it. Not one like of any source from any of them. There was only one or two that I got. And I can complain about, algorithms and Instagram and stuff. This is basically like I literally met them and spoke to them. They know who I am. They're like, oh, snap, DJ Vinzel, I know you. And, they show me respect. I show them respect. And it's like, once we all went home, it's like, yeah, screw me, I guess. I know that this type of stuff gets to me. And I try not to let it get to me, but it really does get to me. It's not a matter of like people ignoring my stuff. If I made a video on Instagram and it got nothing, that's totally cool. If it got like 0 views, 0 likes, yeah. Maybe it was there because it was meant that way, But if it's a video where I shared and I at people and it was almost like 30 people that I at, and when I say at, I mean I linked their profile and they should see it in their freaking profile. They didn't give me nothing. And it's like, what's the issue here? Like, what did I do wrong? Like I add you guys, like, look, Spin Control, me smiling, big boy dancing, big boys moves, and all there with the Dizzy Dreads. Dizzy Dreads didn't care about it, that's for sure. They've been liking my posts, and the moment I got their shoes, they're like, yeah, who cares? I got their pizza, it was a good amount. And also there was no need for drinks because they were giving away free Red Bull. And here's some pictures that I got from by the way, there's some cats here that, yeah, it's the second time that I took pictures with them, third or second time, and out of nowhere they just don't care. Especially Scar. Like Scar liked my stuff and like now he doesn't care or something like that. What the frick? And we got Kurt Rage, which actually you recognize who I am, as well as Profo. We got Thesis. We got B-Boy Reynolds. Legends that I don't mind if they don't like my stuff. The thing is that Thesis did share my story time on his posts. But that was like a few days ago when I was sharing like who's the winners. And this was like a amazing moment with the X-Fans crew. Yeah, this is the post I was showing, like, Thesis was showing his Instagram, and then he like shared it, and pretty much it was such a good environment. This is just like with them showing prizes and all that stuff. And this is them announcing the winners. And over here is like one of the battles. Create doing his thing. I had an amazing conversation with him. There is actually a reason why that he couldn't come to Japan. There's something about travel issues with Create and Adelaide, his brother. They're originally from Kazakhstan. And I had a good conversation with him, very long one, actually. One of the longest conversations that I had is, B-Boy Create, which also doesn't make sense why he doesn't like, my posts. None of these B-Boys like my posts. They just saw like, oh, random crazy person just, like, no, it's not just a random person. It's actually a person in the freaking scene, okay? Like, look at that. Look at these moves. Styling. No wonder the Kazakhstan B-boys are just, the future, to be real. And there is like, this back and forth of like, do I really care about the B-boy culture now? Do I want to go to another B-boy event? Post it and then just, it just sucks. There was a time that all of us care, but there's a part of me where like there's a sense of pride that all these freaking B-boys and B-girls want, Like, not to name names, but when I see the call out battles and also, I'm like, there has to be a sense of pride. Like when Kurt Rage was calling out somebody from his crew and because he's, sore loser in that moment when he was battling, I'm like, what do you expect? Like, what does battling this person, does anyway? I saw a post that Domkey actually put out saying this something like this. He wasn't calling out Kurt Rage, but for me, I see that as like, I get it because he did make a video about him, having 100 losses and stuff like that. And I guess at this moment, he just like flipped out. And there is a part of me when I look at all these B-boys and B-girls and stuff like that. This is what I think, okay? And mind you, I do not go to a lot of B-boy events. I don't. I just want to go to events that I personally feel happy. I didn't grow up going to B-boy events. I started going because I supported them. I had people like, yo, you should go to this event. We should meet up here, stuff like that. And then I started going. But, there was like the energy and everything is just something that, I don't know. I don't find myself really getting in unless I'm like, active in a crew. And there's never really, and if I want to go to like any B-boy event, I probably wouldn't go to my hometown. I just went here because it's like, it's in San Francisco. It's like, it's next right there. Okay. It's just right there. Ryan was there. He looked tired when I was actually, I'm taking a picture and like, there's a part of me where it was just a quick snap and stuff like that. But he was doing a lot of work there. Jesus was there, I feel bad for him because he wanted to go to Japan with his crew, Create in Adelaide. But again, they're having like, I don't know the reason necessarily, but for me, if you have to ask me, it's like, it has to do something with travel. Like, Create was already having a hard time trying to get back to his country and stuff like that. And I forget the reason because, well, I didn't record our conversation. There's a part of me where I could have vlogged the whole event. I'm not one of those. Kurt Rage did vlog a bit. I think he put a camera down. I didn't really show it, but he put a camera down there and it was, show. Provo was there as well, and these were the two that were doing call outs and stuff like that, so it made sense why they don't want to be reminded of this event. That's what I like to think, especially with Scar. There's part of me where there was this moment in battle that he was going at it, but then again, that's what I'm like thinking, like, oh, that's just his attitude. Good to see Filthy. Filthy was dope. Man, I seen Phil. I never met the other cats that, Villain was with. Speaking of Villain, there he is, shout out to Underground Flow, Filthy, and Villain. And also, the first person I met there when I went in straight up was actually Get Nasty, which is right there. He saw the video of me commentating him when he was at Nigeria. Also, Emma was there. The only B-girl ever in this whole catalog. I find myself like, I don't take a lot of pictures with a lot of females at all. Not even ones that are famous or anything like that. I just don't like, I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. There's a part of me where when I was younger, I was obsessed with like, oh, getting a whole bunch of pictures with females and something I dream about, even though I don't necessarily. So I didn't have a problem. But as of now, I just like, yeah, nah. But for Big or Emma, I'm like, yeah, just one, I guess. There was another B girl that I met there. Shout out to A plus. It's my second time seeing her, and she has grown. A lot of these individuals have grown, and we have the one and only, Create. We like that was the area. It was like kind of dim and dark. It was in the backstage or something behind the DJ, and we spoke there. That was cool, and they were also practicing over there. I always see them practicing. Got to meet Run for the second time. Got to meet Somar for the third time. Got to meet the iPad for the second time. He was like, "Yo, man, it's good to see you again." And also, I got to meet Nasty Ray. This was one of the funniest moments that I had there. And I was like going up to him and I was like, "Yo, Rock's right." I was like, "Yeah, I'm Rock's right." But yeah, that was a good time. And yeah, let me see here. I did went to with my brother, but don't want to add him. I feel like, for family reasons, keep things private. Saw X Fans. I saw Wacko there. I didn't take a picture, but I did say B-boy Wacko, and he did open a donut shop. I asked him about EBT. He was like, man, we'll that's what we're working on. And I was like, yo, man, that would be nice. Every B-boy and B-girl that I met in there, all good conversations. What doesn't make sense is that they don't care about my posts. Where's the like? That sounds selfish, but I have the rights to say that. I don't go to these events a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. There's a part of me where I want to re-upload. I'm not going to do that. I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I'll set in stone. But I'll just put this just to let people know, like, what my real opinions are about, this type of attitude and stuff. And maybe it doesn't matter. By the way, this was one of my favorite B-boys. I don't know which one this one is. But this guy was funny. He was killing it. The big afro and all that. And also, there's my t-shirt. Listen, I don't need to just let you know what my Instagram is. Also, I don't even... I know there's going to be some comments, but I don't even get a lot of comments. I don't get a lot of support, a lot of comments when it comes down to this B-boy stuff, except for, the people that actually see me and except for my other channel that was terminated. And that's kind of like what most of, especially with Gravity knows me from there, Zeku, and, they follow me, most of the Monster B-boys, and as well as, like, man, that's what I kind of use. That, and pretty much whenever I meet them, I always say, like, yo, they ask for my name because, that I don't know why, but they like tend to ask for my name and stuff like that, except for Ronnie. Ronnie was too busy. I just did a quick snap with him. But, they asked for my name so that, and it's a good thing because that way they actually know, who I am. The moment I said DJ Vinzel, people like Nasty Ray knows me. People like Get Nasty knows me. I think Somar knows me, but he was kind of busy doing his routine thing. Create knows me. I don't know about these. I don't know if you heard my name, but there was a good amount of them knows me. And if my name was displayed up there, I bet there was probably a good amount of people that actually, oh, snap, it's the guy that does the commentaries and stuff like that, which I don't do anymore because, I have a job and stuff, and I used my other commentary, not in b-boying, but for other things that, and it kind of helped me actually get, a job out there. That's when I became, with the play testing and Webtoon stuff. Man, those were the times. But other than that, yeah, Spin Control was a good time, just not the aftermath. It was a good time. And also, I guess let me just freaking, yeah, here it is. So, the people that are coming to the event, I guess, in Japan is none other than Shuffles and Flow. Also, I didn't really take a picture with Kid Break. I couldn't find him in there. I don't know. And why would I be taking pictures with any kids, right? Let me know that. But he was dope. Babalu was dope. All these kids were dope, man. And I think Deesa said something like, "Yeah, I could have choose like whoever I want to choose to actually go there, so it has to go to the freaking runner-ups." So I feel that for him. My goodness. But other than that, yeah, it was pretty dope. I just, there is a part of me where I still want to go to more b-boy events and here and there. I just don't know. Am I interested or am I crazy about it? Just gotta wait and see. We'll live in a peace and God bless.